In this video, we're going to take a look at the singer-songwriter technique that has been used in classic songs such as Blackbird by the Beatles, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, and something that's been used by countless singer-songwriters since, such as James Bay in Hold Back the River, and even in songs such as Sting's Shape of My Heart. So I'm sure you're aware of the song Blackbird by the Beatles, starting with this kind of progression. But you may also have heard that in other places as well. And what I want to encourage is for you guys to play around with these fretboard locations, kind of treat them like a chord progression and see what riffs you can come up with using these same techniques inspired by these classic songs, but also being aware that all these are doing is implying chords with something called parallel tenths. So what we're actually playing here is the root note of a G, and everything we'll look at here is in the key of G, and then the major third above the octave of G. And if the octave is the 8th note in a major scale, then the major third is the 10th, 8, 9, 10. And we play the root note, or the 1, with the 10th interval of a major scale, and we walk up that G major scale in this case, keeping the notes parallel to each other, which is how we get the parallel tenths name, and that's how these classic songs are written. And this then implies the chords in the key of G major, which would be G, A minor, B minor, those are two notes out of a B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and G. So rather than playing the kind of cowboy chords version of this, or even any kind of other versions of these chords that you may be aware of, especially with that G note acting as a pedal note, this is something to play around with. And to inspire you guys, I'm going to break this down further, but just to inspire you guys, I kind of came up with my own, which I'd like to share with you now, and I'd like to encourage you to have a go at this yourself. If this is light years ahead of where you feel with your playing at the moment, then Perfect by Ed Sheeran does something very similar with that kind of open string ringing out, and it's much easier than all this. But Love Yourself, the Ed Sheeran written song, even though it's by Justin Bieber, does a very similar thing. And you'll hear similar kind of ideas in songs such as Hey There Delilah, Tears in Heaven uses a lot of this technique, Skinny Love, Shape of My Heart, and even songs such as Falling Slowly. I love Falling Slowly, the song by Glenn Hansard from the movie Once. That's this sort of singer-songwriter thing that I want you to be inspired by. But here's the one that I came up with, just a simple little riff using these techniques, but we're starting off in this case on the E minor, and the one I came up with is... So that's starting off on E minor, going down to D, C, G over B, using a slightly different technique here of this little hammer-on, finishing on a D major chord. That's my little composition of what's possible with this, but have a play with this, experiment with it, and anytime you know a song uses just the chords G, A minor, C, and D, you could start to imply those chords with other techniques, primarily these singer-songwriter parallel tenths. In an earlier video in my intermediate course as well, we looked at how to play the major scale on one string, which is a crucial lesson to look at before really digging into this stuff, because we're essentially doing the same thing. So for those of you that want to experiment with this, let's break this down further. What we want to do first of all, if this is totally new to you, is play the G major scale, starting on the G note, and then going along just the B string. So this is from fret 3, 0, 2, fret 3, fret 5, fret 7, fret 9, and then 10. And get very comfortable walking up and down those notes. It uses all the dots and a couple of the spaces, but if you memorize that this mostly uses the dots, and we can even number those just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and think about this from an intervals point of view. But then we want to be able to play that as well from the open G, 1, 2, and then go to the open B string, 3, first fret, stay on the dots after that, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we even need 9, 10. All these are tabbed out for you in the description below. Because the only ones we actually play are from the 3, so 1, 2, 3, which is actually 8, 9, 10. If we start off from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just play that G major scale. And keep going up, and then we play them together with a thumb and a middle finger. We can play the middle finger and thumb together itself and then pluck the G string, the third string, as a pedal note, or even strum it with a down little strum with the first finger, with the nail of the first finger. That's the D, C. You can imply a C minor, which is what McCartney does in Blackbird. Or we can do a pluck. Welcome to this jam track video where we're combining the singer-songwriter temps that we've looked at with a little riff, and we're also going to add in a little bit of inside-out pattern in the key of G this time, as we've looked at kind of previously. The riff will be tabbed below. I'm going to add a little bit more to that. If you want to just stick to the basic, that's cool. We're going to add a little bit of a percussive tap here. We'll be looking at that more in depth as we go along this course, just for you guys that really want to dip into this. But the pattern when we add a little more to this basic riff is... and then we just go to C. To D. And then back. Just to give you some inspiration, but I really hope that many of you will take these ideas and start to create your own riffs and realize that there are more riffs that can be created with this same stuff because it's so beautiful. Let's give it a go. something to play around with. As I say, I just encourage you to know the mechanics under the songs that you're learning so that you can then start to improvise and come up with your own ideas and create music rather than just recreating music. Give that a go. Let me know how you get on with it.